Xi Jinping removed his army general, supposedly the second strongest man in China, second most powerful man in the PLA, in the People's Liberation Army. Is Xi Jinping feeling the heat in this tariff wars and maybe fearing a potential coup in the future? So, yeah, there is this Chinese general, the second most powerful general in the Chinese army, the PLA, who was sacked apparently, and so I think his name was He Weidong or something. Let's look it up, okay? Let's look it up. Let's go to our friend Google and let's look for He Weidong. Here we have dark mode. Well, that's pretty. He Weidong. He Weidong. So this gentleman has been removed in Xi Jinping's latest purge. Um, yes, so that's what we hear. China's President Xi Jinping removes second top army leader. He Weidong's possible downfall and Xi Jinping's trust deficit, and so on. So yeah, it seems to be true. This news report seems to be true that that this Chinese general, the second most powerful person in the People's Liberation Army, has been reportedly removed. So if it is true, if it's confirmed, it seems to be, this is a high level military purge. They call this sort of thing a purge. And what could it signify? What could it represent? It perhaps represents a consolidation of Xi's control, of Mr. Xi Jinping's control over the military. Right now, there are all kinds of external tensions. There's a massive trade war that's going on with the US. The Chinese are pressuring Taiwan like never before. Military exercises all across Taiwan. Taiwan is encircled, and so on. So maybe Xi Jinping is consolidating his control over the military by removing anybody who could potentially be a problem of any kind. Okay, so what could this signify? Okay, Xi Jinping is consolidating power, but why did he need to do this? Was there any internal dissent in the People's Liberation Army, or is there a preparation in China for a new strategic direction requiring absolute loyalty in the command structure of the army? And was this person perceived as a weak link in this? We're not quite sure. We don't know. But it definitely is interesting. Now, it's interesting to note that the Chinese are doing this purge of their military. But what about the US? What about NATO? So, once again, let's go to Google, because we should have a balanced approach in looking at things. If you know, so let's look at Google, okay, our friend Google, and let's look at Shoshana Chatfield. Shoshana Chatfield, USA. Pentagon fires senior officer Vice Admiral Shoshana Chatfield, a senior Navy female officer at NATO, fired by Trump administration, fired in expanding national security purge. So there is the same kind of thing happening in the West as well. The Chinese are purging their military. You are seeing NATO being purged of certain kinds of people. As you can see, it's happening there as well. So um, and this person, Shoshana Chatfield, is the ninth senior officer who has been purged by the Trump administration. So there is a purge going on. There's a systematic removal of various senior military leaders. Why is this happening? Some of them seem to be associated with diversity initiatives. So we seem to be witnessing a fundamental restructuring of the military command in a way that is now more aligned with the vision of President Donald Trump. Okay, so we may be witnessing fundamental uh, shifts in NATO policy. NATO policy is driven by the US. Okay, so out of those nine people who have been removed, high ranking people, four have been female officers. So maybe this is an ideological thing more than a performance based thing. Um Or maybe it's also performance based, we don't quite know. But we are seeing something in China, we are seeing something even bigger in the West, in NATO, in the US. Okay, yeah, purges on both sides. Times are changing, things are changing, things are afoot.